Hey, welcome back. Today, we're going to tackle a problem that, let's be honest, almost everyone hits when their project or business starts to take off. It's that moment when your trusty spreadsheet just can't handle it anymore. So, we're going to talk about moving from that data chaos into the calm and control of a really powerful, advanced database. Okay, let's get into it. Does this sound familiar? You know the feeling, right? You start with this nice, clean grid, everything's simple, and then, before you know it, it's just this monster trying to find one specific thing, or connect different pieces of information, or even just add a new customer without messing something up. It's become a full-time job. If that's you, then yeah, your spreadsheet is absolutely holding you back. So let's make this super real. Let's talk about a company we'll call WorldCorp. They're doing well, expanding into new retail locations, and that sounds awesome, right? But behind the scenes? Well, their simple data systems are starting to seriously crack under all that pressure. I mean, just think about it. You've got product information over here, SKU numbers, store locations, customer histories, sales data over there. It's all becoming this tangled, confusing, and super inefficient mess. Trying to answer even the most basic questions is turning into a huge chore. It's pretty clear they need a major upgrade. Okay, so how does WorldCorp get out of this mess? How do they escape this data chaos? Well, it all starts by unlocking the first real superpower of a database, the ability to ask incredibly smart, specific questions. And the tool for that is called a query. We need to forget just storing data. A query lets you interrogate it. It's a precise question that digs through everything you have to find the exact answer you need. Seriously, it's like having a superpowered search engine, but it only searches your stuff. For instance, WorldCorp can now ask something like, show me every single product in our Philadelphia store that has a quantity below its reorder point. Now imagine trying to do that in a spreadsheet. It'd be this total nightmare of filtering and sorting and checking. With a query, it's just one question. Boom, you get a perfect answer instantly. And the way this works, the secret sauce really, is using something called criteria. These are just the rules you set to filter the results. So you can ask for sales that are greater than $100, or records that are only from Philadelphia, or even just transactions that happened yesterday. But what happens if you don't know the exact thing you're looking for? That's where wildcards come in, and they are so useful. So you can use an asterisk if you want to find words that start with ba, or maybe a question mark to find names that just sound similar. It gives you this incredibly flexible way to hunt down the data you need, even if you only have part of the clue. Now, here's a simple but really powerful concept you gotta get: the logic of and versus or. Think of it this way. Using and makes you a detective. You're looking for something that meets all the clues. It really narrows things down. But or? That's like casting a wider net. It'll find you anything that meets at least one of your rules. And just choosing between those two words completely changes the story your data tells you. Okay, so asking smart questions is superpower number one. That's huge. But what about getting information into the database to begin with? That brings us to our next big idea: teaming your data. We've all been there. You're staring at this giant, intimidating grid, trying to type information into just the right cells. It's slow, it's ugly, and you just know it's so easy to make a typo or stick something in the wrong column. And that one tiny mistake, it creates total chaos later on. So the secret is to just stop working in that grid. Instead, you use forms. Think of a form as a guided, really user-friendly screen for your data. Right away, you're going to see fewer errors, data entry gets way faster, and they just look professional. You can even design them to update multiple related tables all at once. And one of the coolest tools for this is the subform. It's basically a form that lives inside another form. So picture this. You pull up a customer's record, and bam, right there on the same screen, you see a little window with a full list of all their past orders. You can just scroll right through it. It's just a really elegant way to see the big picture and the details all at the same time. So if forms are all about getting data in cleanly, reports are all about getting it out beautifully. This is kind of the final step in taming your data. Reports take all that raw information and just transform it into these polished, professional documents. We're talking pixel-perfect invoices you can send to customers, or crystal-clear summaries for your boss, with all the totals and subtotals calculated automatically. All right, we can ask smart questions, and we can manage our data like pros. But now we get to the really cool part, the true peak of efficiency, our third superpower: putting work on autopilot. And we do this with something called a macro.
Put simply, a macro is just a saved set of instructions you can run with a single click. So think about some boring thing you do every single day. Maybe it's running the daily sales report and printing it out. A macro takes that whole annoying multi-step process and turns it into one single click. And look, you don't have to be some kind of coding wizard to do this. The basic idea is so simple. You pretty much just hit record, you do the task one last time, very carefully, and then you save all those clicks and steps to a button. That's it. You've automated it. You never have to do it manually again. And this really gets to the core of why this all matters. When you use macros to handle the boring, repetitive parts of your work, you're not just saving time. You are freeing up your brain power to focus on the stuff that actually requires your intelligence and your creativity, the important stuff. So let's pull this all together. We can ask smart questions, we've got clean data coming in, and we've put the boring stuff on autopilot. Now, let's build the ultimate goal, what I like to call your very own data command center. Okay, first up, data integration. This is huge. It means your database can actually link to other files, like, say, an Excel spreadsheet that your finance team is always updating. When they make a change over there, your database sees it instantly, automatically. Yeah, the days of copy-paste, they're just over. And this all leads us to the grand finale, the dashboard. Think of this as your mission control. It's a custom-built screen that acts as your central hub, using buttoners, charts, and simple navigation to give you a complete, at-a-glance overview and control of your whole operation. A great dashboard is a total game changer. All of a sudden, your most important numbers, your key performance indicators, they're just right there. Your team doesn't have to hunt for things. They get one-click buttons to do their jobs. It creates this single source of truth, a command center where everyone on the team is looking at the exact same up-to-date information. You see, in the end, moving past a spreadsheet isn't just about being more organized. It's about giving yourself the tools to unlock the stories that are hidden inside your data. Stories about your customers, your products, your operations. Your data is telling a story. It really is. The only question left is, are you ready to actually listen? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.